They did it in broad daylight. Right there on Monday Night Raw, in front of the entire WWE Universe, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins were dismantled, humiliated, and left broken on the canvas, and nobody came to stop it. Like and subscribe so you never miss a single moment of the chaos unfolding in WWE right now, because what happened on Raw this week is going to echo through WrestleMania season and beyond. And now, the man who was once their brother, the man who bled beside them, who built empires with them, Jon Moxley, sitting in AEW, has broken his silence. And what he said, it is going to make your blood boil or send chills straight down your spine depending on which side of this war you stand on. Let's not sugarcoat what happened on Raw. This wasn't a competitive match. This wasn't a rivalry playing out on equal footing. What we witnessed was an absolute decimation. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the man who carried SmackDown on his back 4 years and redefined what it means to be a top star in professional wrestling, was beaten down with a level of brutality that felt personal. Not just professional, personal. And Seth Rollins, the visionary, the man who reinvented himself more times than anyone in this industry, was right there beside him, eating the same punishment, left laying in the same wreckage. The crowd was stunned. The commentators were speechless. And backstage? Word is the locker room could not believe what they were seeing. Because this wasn't just a beatdown. This was a message. Somebody sent a message to the entire WWE roster that no one, not even Roman Reigns, not even Seth Rollins, is untouchable. And that message landed loud and clear. Now here's your first trivia question of the day, and I want you to drop your answer in the comments right now. What was the name of the faction that Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, who later became Jon Moxley, were all members of when they first debuted together in WWE? Think carefully, drop it below. Let's see who really knows their wrestling history. Back to the story, because the fallout didn't stay contained inside that arena. It spread, it leaked out of the building, jumped across the wrestling world, and landed directly in AEW territory. And that's where Jon Moxley, the man formerly known as Dean Ambrose, the man who walked away from WWE and reinvented himself as one of the most dangerous, unpredictable, and unfiltered performers in all of professional wrestling, decided he had seen enough. He broke his silence, and he did it in the most Jon Moxley way possible. No corporate filter, no carefully worded PR statement. Raw, brutal, honest. Moxley made it clear that what happened to Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins on Raw wasn't something he was going to ignore. Now, you have to understand something about Jon Moxley to fully grasp the weight of this moment. This is a man who has complicated history with both Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. These three men were forged together. They were a unit. They called themselves brothers. And then everything fell apart, contracts ended, creative differences erupted, real-life frustrations boiled over, and Moxley walked out of WWE and never looked back. 4 years, there has been this unspoken distance between Moxley and his former Shield brothers. Cordial in some moments, tense in others, completely silent in many. The two worlds, WWE and AEW, operate like rival kingdoms, and Moxley planted his flag firmly in AEW's kingdom. So when he opens his mouth to address something happening on Monday Night Raw, that is not a small thing. That is a seismic moment. And what Moxley said cut right to the bone. He acknowledged what happened. He acknowledged that Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins were taken apart in a way that even he, a man who has been through wars that would break most human beings, found difficult to watch. But Moxley being Moxley, he didn't just offer sympathy. He offered something far more dangerous. He offered perspective. His perspective. The perspective of a man who knows Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins better than almost anyone alive. Moxley made it known that whoever is responsible for this beatdown has made a very serious miscalculation. Because in Moxley's world, actions like this don't go unanswered. They don't fade away. They fester, they grow, and eventually, they explode. And Moxley knows this because he has been the explosion before. He has been the chaos agent. He has been the man who walked into a situation that everyone thought was settled and burned the whole thing down. The wrestling world is now asking the question that nobody can fully answer yet. Is Jon Moxley's statement purely emotional? Is it professional respect between former brothers in arms? Or is there something bigger brewing here? Could we actually be looking at the seeds of a cross-promotional moment that nobody saw coming? WWE and AEW have been creeping closer together in ways that were unthinkable just a few years ago, and Moxley inserting himself into this narrative, even from a distance, adds a layer of electricity to an already explosive situation. Here is your second trivia question, and again I want those answers flooding the comment section. How many times has Jon Moxley held the AEW World Championship since leaving WWE? This one is for the real fans. The ones who have followed Moxley's entire journey from the moment he walked out of WWE to everything he has accomplished since. Drop your answer below and let's settle this. Now let's talk about what this means for Roman Reigns going forward. Because Roman isn't the type of man who absorbs a beating and quietly moves on. Everything Roman does is calculated. Everything Roman does is deliberate. Even his moments of vulnerability are carefully constructed narratives that he controls. So the real question isn't whether Roman will respond to what happened on Raw. The real question is how, and when, and against whom. Seth Rollins, on the other hand, operates differently. Seth is volatile in a way that Roman simply is not. Seth feels things more visibly. He wears his fire on the outside. When Seth gets humiliated, when Seth gets broken down the way he was on Raw, history tells us that he comes back swinging, and he comes back swinging at everybody. Friend, foe, it doesn't matter to Seth Rollins when he gets into that state of fury. The combination of Roman's cold, calculated vengeance and Seth's explosive, emotional retaliation aimed at the same target, that is a terrifying prospect for whoever is responsible for what happened on Raw. They may have won the moment, but they have absolutely awakened something that they are not prepared for. And now add Moxley's voice into this equation, a man who is not bound by WWE's rules, a man who is not on their roster, a man who answers to nobody but himself. His voice carries a different kind of weight precisely because he is outside the system. He can say things that nobody inside WWE can say. He can name things that others can only hint at. And the fact that he chose this moment, after this beatdown, to break his silence and speak directly to what happened on Raw tells you everything about how serious this situation truly is. The wrestling world is at a crossroads right now. WrestleMania season is supposed to be a celebration. It is supposed to be the grandest time of the year, and it still is, but underneath all the spectacle, underneath all the pageantry and the fireworks and the blockbuster matches, something dark and real is simmering. Roman Reigns was supposed to be heading into WrestleMania on his terms. Seth Rollins was building towards something massive. And now both of those trajectories have been shaken violently by what happened on Raw. Jon Moxley speaking from AEW is the match that has been thrown onto an already soaked gasoline trail. The fire is coming. The only thing left to determine is how big it burns and who gets consumed by it. If you are not subscribed to Ringside Backstage News yet, do it right now. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you are here the second this story develops further, because it will develop further, and you do not want to be the last person to know. Drop your trivia answers in the comments, tell me what you think Moxley's real motivation is, and share this video with every wrestling fan you know. Because this is the kind of moment that defines an era, and we are watching it happen in real time.